Now you see it. Now you don't. Now you see it. And now you don't. I'm just messing with you guys. This is actually what you would see using the little trick I'm going to tell you about in just a few seconds. Let's get to it. Alright guys, welcome to Migmatisgolf, the channel dedicated to everything outside the box, okay, stuff you're not going to get from your local PGA Pro or in the magazines and all that. If you are struggling with your golf game, you're not getting any better even though you're taking lessons and all that, maybe it's the place for you. So please subscribe, check out the other videos, tell all your friends, all that good stuff. Well, if you think this channel is weird, well, this one is going to blow your mind because this is about as wacky as it gets. I won't beat around the bush. A lot of you have heard the term ball bound, which really refers to amateurs being so obsessed. So much noise around here. Amateurs being so obsessed with the ball that they do all kinds of crazy stuff in their golf swing. And really what they're doing is not that crazy at all. All their brain is trying to do is get this club face on the ball in the best possible way. And if you didn't know anything about golf or you weren't playing golf, the typical hacker or slicer's move is actually the brain's most efficient way of getting this club head on the ball because it's the shortest distance. So that's the most efficient way for the brain, but it's not the most efficient way for golf. So in golf, you kind of have to trick your brain into forgetting about the ball and thinking about swinging the club around you and just letting the ball get in the way. That's how you produce compression, power, distance, accuracy, all that good stuff. So most of us amateurs are ball bound, which means we see this white thing on a dark background on the floor and our brain goes, must hit ball, okay? And it just drives us mad. So how can we get around that? Well, you know, there's all the tricks of like hitting with your eyes closed and all that. Those are all fantastic. But really, you want to train yourself to still be looking at the ground or a spot just ahead of the ball where this club head's going to bottom out and let the ball get in the way. So I've come up with some crazy ideas. And here it is, my friends. It's simple. It's a green ball. That's right. A green ball. Now, the research suggests that the more you notice something, the more you will be attached to it and bound to it. So I know this green ball is not an identical match to my hitting mat. In fact, it's a $3.49 can of spray paint from one of the big box stores in meadow green. It's about as close as I can get. But you know, this is not a DIY show. Do whatever you can to match as close as possible. That is one option, right? So I'll show you when I'm all done what it looks like when you're looking down at it. But basically, the closer you can match this to the background, then the less your brain is going to be attached to it. So if you're going to use white balls, maybe try and manufacture a white background. Just something so you minimize being able to see this ball. That's option number one. Then it got my brain thinking, what if I didn't see the ball at all? What if I just saw a replica of the mat? And so I took a picture of my mat from here, click, click. I went upstairs onto my printer, printed it off, and I cut out a round circle, slightly bigger than the ball, and I put on the ball a little bit of this stuff. This is that, they call it quake hold. It's just like a little sticky putty that you put on picture frames to stop them falling off your shelves and stuff during earthquakes, funnily enough. Quake hold. But anyway, so I stick that on the top of it. Now, a warning. My printer color my printer color is slightly low, so I didn't really get a very good color match, but it doesn't matter. I will show you what it looks like in a minute. Put the ball down there with that little photocopy of the mat over the top, and if you get a good match, okay, this is not a photography show either, I'm not Ansel Adams or Annie Leibovitz, but the ball starts to disappear, and that is the main goal. The main goal is getting that ball to disappear. So what can you take away from this little video? Hitting or swinging through something that you don't see is beneficial to learning the correct patterns and stop yourself from being ball bound. The advantage of doing it this way as to other ways is that you will still strike the ball, so you'll still get feedback through your hands where you struck the ball. And more importantly, if you're hitting on a range or something, you will get to see the ball flight. Obviously, painted balls like this, you're going to lose a bunch unless you have a large field, but if you take your own balls to the range, you're going to lose them. The nice thing about the photocopy picture over the top is that generally, not always, generally it comes off as the ball shoots out and it lands no more than like 10 yards away from you, so you can use it over and over again. If it was printed on photo paper, it'd probably last much longer. Anyway, that's it, my friends. Give that a try. I know it sounds cray-cray, but it actually works. I find if I hit a lot of these green balls, especially, I'll show you, but especially if I've painted with spray paint a white dot 4 inches in front of the ball, then that is kind of like where I want my club to bottom out. So my brain gets more attached to the white dot on the mat than it does to the ball, and I get much more power and much later release, etc., etc. Oh yeah, one more thing, if you do the photocopy bit, try an irregular pattern, not a round pattern. Try an irregular pattern as well. That tends to blend in more with the background. Here's one I did on photographic paper, so that will last quite a long time. But once again, my printer's all mashed in it, so the color match isn't really good, but you get the idea, right? So that's it. I will now detach the camera and show you what it looks like from above. Hope you enjoy. Leave some comments if you try it. Let me know what you think. And once again, tell all your friends about Migmatisgolf. Please subscribe to the channel. I'll see you again soon. Laters. Okay, as promised, here is what you would see when you look down at the ball. So there it is. There's the ball. There's the painted white spot on my mat that I'm kind of trying to get the club to bottom out at. So there you can see it's a pretty high contrast between the ball and the mat. It's very vivid. If I now replace that with one of my green balls, you can see it blends in much better. Focus tends to go towards that spot there rather than the ball. And obviously the closer that match of paint, the better the effect's going to be. So that's one way of doing it. The other way, as I explained, is here I have regular white golf ball. I do have a bit of that putty here somewhere, if you let me find it. Where you gone? Oh, here it is. So here's a little dab of that putty I explained. You put it on top of the ball, and then here's a photocopy of the mat. Now that color isn't a very good match because, as I explained, the ink in my printer is a bit dodgy at the moment, but you can see the texture is identical, and if you just get that color match closer, then it hides the ball. And then finally, here's a photocopy as well, but with irregular shape pattern. That tends to blend in a bit better as well. So that's it. Give that a try.